Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. We are back with another review for Baddies South episode 5. You guys know I like to get right into the review, so let's just jump right into it. This episode starts off with the rest of Scotty's introduction from last week. And by the way guys, if I just skim past everything in this review, it's because it was just the most dragged out episode ever. I was extremely bored of the episode, but moving back into the review, we get to see the rest of Scotty's introduction and her and Chrisean's back and forth. I think that Scotty held her own in the back and forth with Chrisean, but I also think that Chrisean kind of realized that she was just doing a little too much. Chrisean wasn't even making any sense and she was just acting childish. Overall, I did like Scotty this episode. She doesn't really give me very much, but she does seem like a sweet girl. But moving on from the whole Scotty and Chrisean situation, Natalie asked the girls what happened with the Ann situation. And as Jayla is explaining the beef with Ann, Bree interjects, and Bree must have gotten a boost of confidence from that fight with Ann, because now Bree has a lot of things to say. But Bree and Ann end up having a little bit of a back and forth, and then Rolly ends up explaining why she beat up Ann. And when Ann's responding to everything, everyone was kind of jumping on her, and she started to say that the whole house was against her. I personally don't think the whole house is against Ann. I think that Ann put herself up against the house. I think that Ann just wants to have a problem with anybody, and she didn't think that she was going to get beat up the way she did, so of course doesn't nobody like her. Anyways, that was boring, nobody cares. Moving on to the next day, the OG bad girls, Natalie, Chrisean, Jayla, and Bree go on a boat, turn up, and have fun. They also talked about not wanting Ann to go with them to the next city. It was nice to just see the girls relaxing, having fun, but as they're on the boat, Scotty and Ann are having a long, boring conversation. Basically, Ann was breaking down all of the drama in the house, which nobody cares, so we're gonna move on. Rolly, Chrisean, and Slim are on the dock, smoking, having a conversation. The three of them weren't really talking about too much other than the whole Ann situation. Nobody cares. Moving on. I do want to say though that I have been feeling Slim a little bit more this season. I do feel like she's growing on me a bit, but moving on, the girls are all ready to go out and they end up getting on the bus. The girls get on the bus, and at first it was cool and it seemed like a good vibe. But Ann ends up getting on the bus, and Bree kind of whispers over to Chrisean why Ann had on a jumpsuit. And something about that really made Chrisean upset, because Chrisean did a whole lot of yelling at Bree to not give Ann life and such things like that. And I did agree with Slim in this scene, because Slim basically was telling her that she didn't need to address her like that in front of everybody. And I definitely agree with that. I think that if Chrisean was her real friend, that she should have pulled her to the side and been like, yo, you should stop mentioning her because it's going to make you look obsessed. And also, Chrisean had a lot of attitude with it. So if I was Chrisean's friend, I wouldn't have took all the attitude very well, but that's just me. And mind you, during that whole thing, here comes Chrisean inserting herself. Who cares what she has to say? Moving on. The girls move past the whole situation fairly quickly, and then Natalie starts to hype up the girls, saying that they're going to be in Scotty's city this time. And I don't know why, but for some reason, Chrisean starts to say that it's her city and it's her club. Again, nobody cares. Chrisean to me never really adds anything productive to any conversations. She's just rude. And Natalie in her confessional starts to talk about how Chrisean is annoying her recently, which me and Natalie are on the same page there. Each time Natalie was trying to talk to the girls as a group, Chrisean is in the background talking, being rude and interruptive. And I actually did agree with Natalie here, because I would really hate to be around somebody like Chrisean. From what I've seen from her, she's just childish, low vibrational, and she really needs to find herself, because I think she's just very lost. On top of that, she's just rude and disrespectful. But Natalie gets so mad that she starts yelling at the driver to pull the bus over, and I think she was doing a bit much. If she was so mad about Chrisean talking, I think she should have just checked Chrisean in that moment, because she is the boss, quote unquote. But personally, I do think she was a little intimidated by Chrisean. She didn't want to end up in the sink. And Chrisean as well kills me every time she says that somebody is jealous of her. At this point, it's just the delusion. Not everybody that doesn't like you or has a problem with you is jealous. It's probably because you're rude and childish. But that is actually where the episode ends, her yelling at production to get Chrisean off of the bus. Next week, we'll get to see the girls in the club. Apparently, Natalie and the girls lost the Baddies bus. And next week, it also looked like Slim is going to run up on Chrisean. And it's also going to be Rolly and Jayla. And by the looks of it, it was honestly looking like Jayla was winning the fight. But we'll have to wait till next week to see. Like I said in the beginning, overall, I thought this episode was very boring. And it kind of just put me to sleep. I personally think it could have been cut down to about 10 to 15 minutes at most. But let me know what you guys think about episode 5 of Baddies South down below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to give this video a like. See you guys in the next one. Bye.